Thank you. This Sunday, June 19th, is Father's Day. Our next speaker would like to acknowledge and celebrate all the dads in our club who have made time to care, support, and provide for their children. Today, our speaker would like to remember her father and celebrate the gifts he has given to her. In a 5 to 7 minute non-pathway speech entitled, "My Beloved Father," please help me welcome the President's Distinguished Division A Director, President's Distinguished President of North Tustin Sensational Speakers for 2 terms, and the Division Director of the Year in 2019-2020, Giselle Nguyen.
My father passed away on December 26th, the day after Christmas in 2012. I spent 2 weeks with him in his home, and I remember watching him lie comfortably in an adjustable hospital bed while I stuffed pillows under his arms and his knees so that he could be comfortable. He was surrounded by his children and dozens of grandchildren during Christmas. And on the 26th, he waited for his firstborn, my eldest sister, to arrive from Houston, Texas, before he took his last breath. His last breath was on his terms. It was intentional and purposeful. So while my father is not physically present today, I feel his spirit with me every single day. And since this weekend is Father's Day, I want to remember and reflect and share 3 lessons I learned from my dad. He lived 86 years. So my dad lived a full, sometimes hard, but always purposeful life. My dad was an affable mayor of a small town in Van Let, Vietnam. So he was a government official and a self-made businessman. And he built his career based on a network of meaningful relationships because he only had a middle school education. You see, as a young teen, he lost his mother and older sister during a famine in World War II. And in 1968, his father died unexpectedly due to an illness. He had to learn how to survive, to be resourceful, to take care of his 2 younger brother and sister. He had a gift for planning, influencing, and organizing. So he used his God-given gift to provide for his family, his 2 younger siblings, and their families, because he was the oldest in his family. My dad lived a purposeful life, always caring and looking after his siblings. And let me give you an example. In 1975, before the fall of Saigon, Vietnam, he moved our families south, away from the fighting and the communist invasion, 1 month before the end of the war. And when it was time to leave, he transported our families, his sister family, their 8 children, my adopted brother and his family with 3 children, and about 10 other people who needed a boat ride out to sea. He acted unselfishly with purpose and meaning. And then when we came to the States, we arrived in Westminster and later Garden Grove. We were living on government assistance. Then he found work at a bakery and restaurants, earning probably minimum wage at the time. He didn't speak English very well, so going to a bank was a challenge and very inconvenient. But every week, he put some extra change, his savings, into a Folgers coffee can. And then about 10 years later, when we grew out of our 1,100 square foot home and ready to buy a house, he opened up the Folgers coffee can, and in it was $50,000. $40,000 went into the down payment of the house on South Douglas Street, and $10,000 went to furnishing a new home. He planned ahead, save to create a prosperous life for our family. So basically, he taught me more about life than anyone else. And there are 3 lessons I'd like to share with you. 1, he said to me, give more than you receive. And his actions proved it. Our small house was open for people who needed a place to stay. And I remember families and friends visiting for 1 month or 6 months at a time. One man named Ông Tới, our longest guest, met my parents at the doctor's office. He ended up living with our family for 10 years. So as the saying goes, we make a living by what we get, but we make a life by what we give. Winston Churchill. The second thing he taught me was commitment to family. My dad taught me that the biggest blessings in life are the people we love and the memories we made along the way. My family and my children are my greatest gift in life. And third, he always taught me to love unselfishly. My father's strength, resilience, and love have greatly influenced my career and my life. I've never made a major personal or professional decision without seeking his advice first. I graduated from college with his support. I chose my career path with his guidance. And I'm a better person because of his example, living with a purpose greater than himself. Anyone can be a father, but it takes love, courage, and perseverance to be a dad. My dad means more to me than any amount of money, material possession, and corporate titles. And there are several people I admire in this world, but my dad is my hero. So happy Father's Day to all the dads out there. Thank you.
Thank you for sharing such an inspirational story. Appreciate that. Can